Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's 3WND podcast. 3WND is the best place online to hear the biggest and funniest news stories from around the world this week. I'm Jason.
I'm Mark.
And I'm Rob.
How you guys doing this week?
Yeah, good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm loving Rob's hair so much. Corona lockdown is really good for Rob.
He has loved it. He has loved it. I have a question for him, but we'll wait until we get into things.
Yeah, should we jump straight in?
Yeah.
We're going to start off this week with a topic everyone's fed up with, which is coronavirus.
Correct.
Daily numbers keep going up, which is pretty scary. So I think coronavirus is going to be here and be a key topic for a little while longer. But what's the latest in the UK where numbers thankfully are going down?
It's kind of steadying at the moment. That could all change in the next few weeks, though, as of Saturday the 4th, the bars, restaurants, cinemas.
Are you both going out? I'm going to get absolutely wrecked on the 4th.
No, half the bars I know are not actually opening this weekend.
Really?
The only ones opening around here are like Wetherspoons, and that's because we've got a money-hungry motherfucker in charge.
He doesn't love Wetherspoons there in Basingstoke. So many good nights there. Fuck.
I know. Popularity has sunk though, but it ain't gonna stop me. You get a pint of Magnums for $1.99. I can't see mad at it. But yeah, even hairdressers are open, which goes on to Rob's hair. Like, are you keeping this, Rob?
Oh, Jason seems to think so.
I do like your emo look. It's sweet.
It's not going anytime soon, that's for sure. I mean, I'm sure the thought will cross my mind where I think, fuck this, I'm going to shave it all off, but I'm not going to do it. Yeah. It's too much. It's gone too far. I can't turn back now.
Now, the only thing I'd want is like my beard trimming out of barbers, but they're not allowed to trim your beards. That's still no go.
What?
Do you do that? Do you get your beard trimmed at barbers?
Occasionally. I want to start growing it a bit longer and being able to have it properly done. But barbers can't do that from now on.
How's that any different to the hair on your head?
I guess because they're near your mouth. I don't know.
I guess you got to do you have to wear a mask at barbers, hairdressers?
Well, we haven't had them open till Saturday yet. So, but yeah, they will. They all open Saturday. Cinemas open. So yeah, there'll be some. I'm pretty sure there'll be a spike. Whether it'd be a huge spike, I don't know.
Well,
nightclubs are a thing of the past because how can they open?
Who goes to nightclubs anymore anyway, man?
Teenagers?
I don't think they do. I think it's gone out of fashion. I think teenagers just sit at home now.
In their parents' basements doing illegal highs.
Yeah.
But even like here in Berlin, obviously where the nightlife's famous, like even before Corona, like all the big nightclubs are really struggling and they're trying to like get petitions and get people going out just to try and support bars and clubs and stuff. Because even in Berlin, they're struggling to get people, which shows a change of times, doesn't it?
It's kind of sad in one way, but not in others, I suppose. But it is when the alternative is they're doing nothing. They're just playing computer games and I
was thinking today actually, all like I was listening to Radio 1 this week a little bit, which is painful. But,
Radio 1?
Yeah. But all like the latest songs that have been popular in the last 5 years or so, none of them are going out music. And I remember when us lot were going out in Southampton a lot, every chart song was like club bangers.
That's true.
I haven't heard a club banger being released
and like
ever.
Summer tunes and stuff.
Yeah,
that sucks.
So we're blaming music for that.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, that was
back
off
to
topic.
coronavirus in the UK. So I've been hearing stories about Leicester back on lockdown. So some parts of the UK are still struggling, I understand.
Yes, Leicester are staying in lockdown for another 2 weeks. All non-essential shops are showing again. I reckon there'll be quite a few different regional and localized lockdowns over the coming months.
Which is the best way for it.
I agree, because they keep the economy going, but I don't know, how far out of city centres they're going to go. For instance, like Winchester's like 17 miles from here. If they had one there, would it come this far? Southampton, well, I don't know. But I did read, Rob, Harrow was the next likely one to go into lockdown.
Really?
Yeah.
Like second after Leicester?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I don't know whether that would affect you.
That's mad, isn't it? Because if I think of Leicester and Harrow, I think both areas are quite heavily populated with Asian populations.
Yeah.
And that's supposed to be,
isn't it?
that's supposed to be where the virus gets, I don't know, hit.
Well, like, I
worse.
think the BAME community
Yeah,
seems to get affected worse and have higher mortality rate.
I don't get how they work that out, because like the worst countries have been like the US, Brazil, us, Spain. So if that was the case, why isn't like India and Pakistan?
Coronavirus is racist, all right? Who knows?
To be fair, like I think England are analysing it more in depth in quite a few of these countries. You could probably find a lot of these, you know, other countries are being affected. America just don't even seem to care as a thing.
They've gone to shit.
They're getting like 50,000+ cases a day. It's insane.
That's just because they're not doing anything.
A month ago, it was like 20.
They're like, it's against my constitutional right to wear a mask. It's like, well, right, you're going to die then. So,
dumbasses, aren't they?
Exactly.
It's okay. It's the coronavirus. It's rolling on, and numbers are going high. I guess we'll chat about it.
I've got some personal news actually on this.
You're pregnant.
Almost. I'm back on furlough.
Mark's baby.
Are you
really?
Yeah. Well, from Monday.
Why?
No work really.
Oh shit.
So, shit. You look well happy.
Yeah.
Such a big smile.
I try not to be when my boss comes over. She says, I've got some news. I think we're going to have to put you back on furlough. We just haven't got the work at the moment. I was like, oh, okay. Just for a week.
Is that paid
for now.
still?
Yeah. So they
8% pay.
They're saying, well, my workplace said if I take one of my days as holiday, they'll pay me the holiday day and fully, and then I get 8% for the remaining 4, and so it will work out that I'm kind of getting this.
It's a great deal, isn't it?
So that means Rob is coming to Brighton next week for my birthday. Magical. Oh, there you go. Okay, should we move on?
You heard it here first. Yeah. So moving on completely. We're now updating a story we previously discussed, which is Jeffrey Epstein. So some breaking news over the last couple of hours is Jeffrey Epstein's ex-girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, has been arrested, which is great news, and I don't understand why it took so long. So I'll give you a quick background. Ghislaine Maxwell who's British, which is pretty insane. British socialite. She was the girlfriend of Jeffrey Epstein, and she was the one that kind of found the very young girls, 14-year-old girls. She kind of groomed them to become sexually active with Jeffrey Epstein. So clearly she's a wrong.
Is her official title British socialite?
That's what she's known as.
We know she's been socialising with, you dirty little bitch.
She's got like.
Sorry, go on.
She's got like rich or whatever parents, so she's come from a very privileged background and upbringing. So she's a socialite.
Hashtag white privilege.
Yeah, and it's like someone that doesn't do anything but seems to be famous as his name is a socialite, which is Ghislaine Maxwell. So yeah, I'm sure more and more of this story will come out over the next few weeks. Hopefully she goes to jail for the rest of her life, but we'll see.
Yeah, she seems like she sucks. So
I'm just going to tweet this article out.
And
good input, Rob.
Yeah, maybe Prince Andrew will be next. Let's see.
That's it, right?
He'll never will that happen.
Oh, I wish he was.
I had a little look on the comments on Instagram, and a lot of people were saying that, and they're also saying, you heard it here first. Ghislaine Maxwell did not commit suicide, so they're jumping the gun on that. I don't know if you remember that, Mark, the whole suicide controversy with Jeffrey Epstein, but it is shady.
Shady.
Yeah. Wow. Interesting.
Okay. So I'm sure we'll have more updates as that story progresses in the next couple of weeks, but we can move on. So going off to the US again, protesters versus Karen and Ken. Love it. So there's been a video that's gone viral. Hopefully everyone's seen it. I will tweet the link now. So it's of some protesters. We're outside this very nice mansion, very nice house. And then this kind of middle-aged, a little bit older white couple come out of the house with big-ass guns, start pointing them at the protesters, as you do, of course. Fearing for their lives, told them to piss off. So yeah, it's a crazy one.
The guy has some like big ass gun, and then the woman.
Yeah, it's a semi-automatic rifle.
How the fuck can you own it?
America.
This is nuts, isn't
it? Yeah. Now this has been quite controversial for several reasons, right?
I guess so.
It's been implemented. It could have been like a racial thing, but at the same time, it's also being touted as they are protecting their property from people on their private street. How do you guys see this?
Well, so the law says in the US that if you feel your residence or yourself's under like attack or in danger, you have the right to kill people.
Yeah.
So in that sense, what they were doing in theory is correct in the eyes of American law.
From what I saw, there's no evidence of them being racist either.
No.
My biggest problem with it was just the language that's used in the media, and you know, I think like young people, teenagers are going to be mostly affected with the whole race thing and infuriated by it, and their minds are still young and being molded in a way, and like they're taking everything a bit backwards with the way that they're wording things. I think like they are just basically pushing a race war.
Yeah, I feel
if that was a black couple protecting their property.
Yep.
It wouldn't hit the news, and it wouldn't be worded the way it was. And I don't like the fact that these people have guns, but they are endangering, like just painting a picture of a negative picture for all white people, really.
Yeah.
Which you know. I know I can't help what I am, and I happen to be born a white male, but if you're stepping out of what you are, the whole racial injustice thing, you've got to see it from every angle. And when white people are kind of painted in a negative way for just being white, I think that's happening now.
Yeah, I think they're making more of stories than they can, the media. They're, like you said, they're pushing it to be a battle of colors rather than, you know, what the actual situation was in itself. And people are going to jump to further conclusions just from hearing like what's happened and how the media portrayed it.
Well, exactly. So the article that I just tweeted out, right, the first paragraph is a white couple point a pistol and assault rifle at Black Lives Matter protesters. Straight away in the first like sentence or two, you got white couple against Black Lives Matter protesters. And it's just not needed. Why can't it just be a couple pointed a pistol at protesters, you know?
It's because hate sells. That's the problem.
Also, one thing we didn't mention, apparently, I don't know if this is true, I don't know if anything's true, to be honest, but apparently these protesters broke a gate into the gated community. So it would give more reason for these people to bring out weapons because they feel they might be violent, even though the protest from what I saw looked peaceful. And it looked, you know, a big percentage of the protesters are white as well. So it's, again...
to be fair, if I was looking outside my gated community and then all of a sudden dozens of people just pile their way through, you're going to be
threatened. You'd also go and get your AK-47 assault rifle, would you know?
Maybe a grenade.
Grenade launcher.
Exactly.
The gun this guy's got is insane. Like, could you imagine having that gun in your house anyway, right?
Mental.
And then to literally point it at human beings, I think it's pretty insane.
What's with the Karen and Ken part? Because that is not their names.
No,
I don't know if you know, but Karen has basically become a word to describe, I guess, a middle-aged white woman who thinks she's over-entitled and likes to try to enforce her opinion. Like, I think the definition, when I look back on it a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago now, was that type of woman that would complain to the boss, the manager of the store, because of so-and-so, and think she's just over entitled. That's a Karen.
Okay. I think you're right, Karen. Okay, what about what about Ken?
I think that just came along as a new word to, basically.
It just begins with a K. So
yeah.
Clever, right?
But again, I don't know what you guys think of that. Like, I think that, and along with like the whole white privilege phrase, I think the way that started kind of made sense. But then I don't know, it feels like the words being used for these descriptions, they're a bit discriminative, I think, against like middle-aged people, white people. I don't know, like the whole white privilege thing. I understand, like personally, I've been pulled over by the police a lot when I was younger for having a skinhead and tattoos and blah blah blah. So in a sense, I used to get judged when I was younger quite a lot, and I understand if I was black, it might have been quite a bit more. But this whole white privilege thing, it's kind of like, I don't know, it's weird to me. It's like, it's taken the focus off the discrimination to black people. Like, I don't see myself as privileged. I see myself as having a normal life, and certain black people have been discriminated against, and that's the focus, not me being privileged.
The flip side to that is we aren't black and we didn't grow up being black, so it's so hard for three white guys to then say I think they're going too far, or I don't believe it's quite as bad. Because I think if you did, especially in the US where a lot of this, this stuff really kind of originates from, I think if you do grow up there being black in a maybe a poor area, I think it's probably really, really tough.
Yeah, but I know, like, from seeing American culture, there's, white trash trailer parks, there's, kids growing up with crackhead mums, dads that have, committed suicide, been raped since children, and how can anyone say, oh, you're privileged because you're white? I mean, I get it, it's like the way society might see you, but I don't know.
I hate these labels, right? I hate saying, you're white, you're I completely get what you're saying, and I hate the fact we have to put labels on everything, or we have to try and be in a label and create a group and, camaraderie with other people to then be part of a society or whatever.
I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying it doesn't seem ideal to me, and it does seem like the way I try to work my brain around these kind of issues, to me, it doesn't make sense to try to solve things that way. I think it's the wrong way to solve things. I think they're just causing more division with things like this.
No, I completely agree. I think it's just easy to put people in buckets and then blame them for things or whatever. So talking about race and Black Lives Matter, Rob, you've had an interesting work experience of this really coming to like in everyone's lives, right? So what happened this week?
Yeah, well, I guess what happened this week shows like the state we're in at the moment, where I think for the next year or two, people just being very cautious with what they're doing, and I kind of understand it. So I'm not going to judge anything, but basically I'm doing a job for a company that's building these kind of plimps that are hand sanitizers, and they're going into like theaters and airports so you can sanitize your hand. And these plimps that we got are like a matte black, and I put some graphics on it, like logos and instructions and vinyl. And the artwork that was sent over had a yellow kind of circle with a hand which had like a white pin line to show the outside of the hand. And the artwork I got, the file was transparent. So basically I printed it black so it looks transparent on the black background, and it looked good, and it looked fine.
It did, yeah. I saw the picture, it looked really good.
Yeah, and nothing crossed my mind of it, and obviously I'll put this picture on social media so people can check it out on Instagram and Twitter. But yeah, the job was done. the guy came and looked at it, had a discussion, and a couple of days later he said, oh, we're thinking we're going to change the hand from being black to something else. And his reason was, it looks like a black hand is asking for money, and it's a bad stereotype. And really all it was is a hand to show this is where you wash your hands. And it wasn't a black skin tone, it was like black, matte black to match the background, and it just didn't cross my head at all. Anyway, he decided to change the hand to white. So I don't know, to me, I don't know what you guys think. I wouldn't have associated it with a race anyway, but also him changing it from black to white, it's like, are you saying black people don't wash their hands now? Are you saying, I don't know, you could also argue that, oh, you're making everything white, why can't black people be represented? It's just, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like things like this, I don't want to use the phrase going too far, because, you know, as we all know, we are supporting the Black Lives Matter movement on Free WMD. But it does seem again like a step that does not help the cause in my eyes. It's just one of those things that people are taking the wrong way. But I don't know what you guys think, if you agree or not.
I think from a commercial business mindset, I think they made the right choice, just because that's the environment we are now in. Because you could, now you kind of think about it, you could take the artwork and the design the wrong way. You could see just a black hand begging for money. So I think it was a right decision from the company. I think it's a sad world where you have to think like that, and that's a real shame.
I agree with what you're saying, but I think it's making the situation worse in the long run, because I don't personally see things like that as a color thing. I just see it as a, you know, it's there to show you how to use the product. But then the more people overthink these things, the more people are going to see color rather than just, you know, what it's there for. And it's a dicey one, because if you're always trying to be so PC on such a trivial thing as that, then people are always going to identify colors of these things with race, with issues, and it's a tricky one.
I'd love it if this went ahead and the hand wasn't changed, and the owner of the company was a black guy, and the person complaining about it was a white guy. And how that would play out, because, you know, I'm not suggesting that, or the person that owns the company, I don't know what color he is. I don't know, like, who he thinks is gonna find it offensive, but I think it's one, you know, yeah, it's a weird thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say on it, really.
No, we can move on.
I will put that picture up so people can see it.
And it shows how this movement of Black Lives Matter is even affecting our lives, right? This is a direct impact on Europe, isn't it? Which is, it shows that things are changing.
I had to spend an extra 10 minutes changing my artwork, for God's sake. How inconvenient my life has become because of this.
But it definitely, I think, kind of shows the significance of the movement that has happened, right? If it's kind of reaching out to, you know, privileged white guys in London, England.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, exactly. So the Black Lives Matter protests here. So we've got not much time on the first part, so I'm quickly going to go through one story. I'm probably going to touch on this story more in future episodes. But there was a potentially new strain of swine flu found in China in pigs this week, which is pretty worrying, but nothing to worry about just yet, which is good. They think it's a flu strain that could evolve into something that can pass through humans, but right now it can't go to humans. But I'm sure the world is watching closely.
The media has blown that up like brutally. It says
new coronavirus.
Like yeah. That's pretty much how they identified it. The experts have said it's not an immediate worry. it's just something they got to keep their eye on and, you know, try and identify how they can, you know, contain it or treat it before it becomes something. But the media has blown it out of proportion with headlines of
Coronavirus 2.0.
Essentially, you're going to die.
But Rob had he took an interesting poll onto Instagram based on this, didn't you?
Yeah, so when I saw that news, I just thought, you know, just wondered what people thought if eating meat is going to continue in the future, like maybe beyond our lifetimes, but it is diseases like coronavirus and any other potential ones just too much of a risk, and people are going to change their lifestyle. And all these big diseases are linked with eating meat and meat products. So I just put in a poll saying, or asking, is vegetarianism the future? And there was an overwhelming response of 26 yes to 1 no. The one no is the one no is present with us right now.
Jason.
And 1 yes is with us right now as well. So
I stand by my point.
Mark said no. Meat, said the caveman.
You didn't really make a point. What was your point?
Yeah.
Was you had a vote, but there was no point made, was there?
No. I just like to eat meat. You know, it's steaks. Who could live without a steak and a burger, some chicken? Oh, let's get some meat on the go. Let's get the barbecue out now. So you two feel differently as Jason's
you're the minority
here,
right, Mark? Because me and Rob have reduced
maybe
meat consumption, right?
I feel like it's just the fan base is obviously more vegetarian. We need to beef it up a little bit to get the the meat eaters in there, right?
Less meat. That's eating less meat, farming less animals will solve so many problems on this earth. Yet, not enough of us are willing to do anything about it. Mark,
don't you be judging me, mate? You know, you go back to your lettuce. Go back to your lettuce sandwich.
Love a lettuce sandwich.
The
cucumber.
Oh, sounds revolting. But you know, I'm sure there'll be many fans out there shouting at me, and there'll be some shouting at you guys. But you know, maybe I need to get more Americans in this, because the Americans would be, you know, pro what I'm saying right now.
You know, London is the best city for vegan restaurants in theory.
How's it?
Yeah, so London. Berlin's like number 3, New York number 2. Quite interesting.
Oh wow. World's going
Breaking
to shit,
right?
Yeah, but you know, we'll see. I reckon maybe when the following gets a bit higher, we'll do a similar poll, see what results we get for that.
I think vegetarianism, is that the right word, is the future. It will just grow in popularity, veganisms and all this stuff. I think it's the future, and it will solve so many problems.
Wow,
I agree.
That's your opinion.
Right. Shall we end part 1 right there?
Yeah, let's go for a commercial break. We'll be right back after these sponsors.
Hello and welcome back, guys, to 3WND Part 2, Episode 6. Episode 6. So we're going to stay on the topic of Instagram polls because Rob has been busy. The first one, I can't quite remember, but last week or the week before, we were having a lively debate about The Rock's cum. Mark would prefer to drink The Rock's.
Whoa.
Drink
you said,
what was it? I can't remember what
it was.
You said
you would rather have a candle that smelled like Ryan Gosling
that was it.
over The Rock's. So Rob was kind enough to start a poll. And how did the results go, Robbie G?
We had to take this important subject to the streets.
It could change the world.
So when asked, whose jizz would you prefer to be turned into a candle, Ryan Gosling or The Rock? The Rock overwhelmingly won with 91% of the votes.
Landslide.
Wow.
That was a lively one as well. It was quite a few voters on it.
Wrong people. So many wrong
So
people.
let me get this right. There's more people that want to continue eating meat than to have a Ryan Gosling candle, according to the percentages. Just throwing it out there.
I don't think so.
I thought it was only like 11% that said they wanted Ryan Gosling's jizz. That was
Only
probably
1%. Only one person wanted.
What would be this? But the vegetarian one was like 28 votes to 1 or something like that.
It's a sad world if more people want Ryan Gosling's jizz. I have a feeling Jason hijacked this poll somehow.
I use my spam bots.
Jason did vote. Jason was one of the 11%. No, sorry, not 11%, 9%.
I've been part of the minority.
Oh my God.
So, in other words, there's a 3WND sponsored rock cum candle.
Oh, I got approached actually to if we wanted to make a captain's armband with 3WMD on it for someone's football team and be their sponsor for the captain's armband.
No way, that's kind of sick.
Cool.
Yeah, I meant to tell you this earlier, but we can talk about this off air.
Talk about it.
Love it. Was it Man City, Liverpool?
What team is
United? What team?
I can't. I'm not saying the name on here until we've agreed sponsorship rights.
There we go.
They give them free advertising, right?
Have you negotiated anything?
No, I said I needed to bring this out with you guys before we took it any further. We'll discuss this off air though. Yeah, okay. Watch the space.
So let's go. So there's a third poll of the last week, Rob.
There was other polls that are probably not as worthy to talk about, but the Piers Morgan one. I'm not sure why I brought this up, but
that's my question. Where did Piers Morgan come from?
Something happened. I follow a page called Momentum, which is quite good. And they had a Piers Morgan kind of interview where he goes off at a politician. And I was just thinking to myself, and I think I've spoken to some people in the past, that Piers Morgan is a bit of a dick, but lately I just find myself like rooting for him and thinking, fucking tell him, Piers, because when there's a politician or someone that is on Good Morning Britain that you don't like, even though you don't like Piers Morgan, he does put them in their place, and he's kind of at the moment really the voice of reason is the words that a lot of people are saying. So yeah, I put it on a poll basically asking Piers Morgan, dickhead or legend. So there was nothing in between. He has to be a dickhead or legend. And 78% said he's a legend. And
super surprised.
When I voted on that, I generally thought, I'm going to be another one in the minority here. And then it pinged up and I was like, no way.
Yeah, funny thing is you both gave me feedback on this, but you voted the opposite things but said the exact same thing. So Jason was like, he is saying the right things at the moment, but he is a dickhead. And Mark's like, he is a dickhead, but he is. Yeah. So I think we all say the exact same thing. I would have voted probably legend because just because of how he's been lately. I think he deserves it. But
I don't think I could call Piers Morgan a legend.
I hated him.
I understand the argument.
I hated him for years, but I love how blunt and he is on all these motherfuckers.
I feel sorry.
He does say things as they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. When he's got Susanna sitting next to him, she doesn't get like a word in edgeways, and you just think, shut the fuck up, Piers. But then someone comes on from like the Tory party talking some bullshit, and he just puts them in their place. So, legend. So,
legend it crazy. Is. The people have spoken.
The people have spoken.
So I guess there's going to be a few more polls this week, Rob. See what story.
Hopefully we can come up with one from the conversations we have going up.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah.
So what's our Instagram, Rob? How does everyone find us?
I believe it's free_WMD. So, yeah. And remember, that's the word free. What? CHREE. Fuck's sake.
Yikes.
Wow.
Also, I love how you think you're so active on there, but you always think, I think this is our handle,
When you
you'd probably go on it about 45 times a day to update it. You're literally where I get more of my news from than most places.
I love your stories on it, Rob, because literally it's where I get my news from. All I need to do is check out our Instagram. It's awesome.
Yeah, so
far,
no one needs to follow these boring news pages because I'll just give you the important bits. So
exactly,
follow
a mix of fun and
With
serious.
Yeah, some weird facts are thrown in there. It's a great page.
It's cute. It is probably the best on Instagram. Some would say.
Yeah.
I would say that. Right, should we move on?
Yes.
So I didn't mention before, part 2 of our podcast is all about the lighter side of the news. We scroll the internet, we look for things that are a bit more interesting, lighthearted, funny, or just weird. So we got a few this week as well. Starting, it's a Corona-related story, but a little bit more interesting. It's about the red light district in Amsterdam, the famous red light district. So it's reopened, everyone. Amazing.
Congratulations.
For people that would go there and do those things. So I'll read the clip we
what
got
things,
here.
Jason? What can you do in Amsterdam?
Remember our trip to Amsterdam, Mark? That was a good one. Amsterdam's red light district has reopened after the coronavirus lockdown. Most sex workers have banned kissing, and they are also now cleaning the sheets between appointments, which is an interesting thing. They also ask clients if they are healthy, and the best quote from one of them was, "But we don't need to wear any face masks during the play dates. Thank God," she said.
It doesn't make any sense. Like, if you're going to catch it from having sex, you know, you're going to catch it on that. You're not going to catch it because the sheets haven't been changed.
But they don't clean the sheets in between.
Yeah, that is also like that's also grim.
Yeah, surely that should be happening all the time. I'm surprised that they even said that. Surely that's standard procedure. And also, the kissing thing. Who the fuck kissed these prostitutes?
Well, there's 4 things in this story.
I don't know about you. I'm a romantic.
It's like give her a kiss on the lips. Just fucking tastes like salty sour milk. Like, what has she been doing with her mouth all day? Like, what have you been up to this morning, love? Like, sucking dick all day. What do you think? And now you're going to give her a kiss. What the fuck?
I noticed though, like, so no kissing, but she could still suck the dick. Like,
she's got to earn a living, right? Come on.
It's just, now I just feel more like, you know, men that are going in there are getting a handful of jizz from the previous customer.
I just, like, there's 4 things for me, right, from this like literally one statement. Number 1 is they ban kissing. Why would you kiss them? Number 2, they got to clean sheets. Why have they not cleaned sheets before? Number 3, they have to ask the client if they're healthy. So sure, someone's going to go there, get asked, "Oh, are you healthy?" before he goes and has a good time. You say, "Oh, wait, I don't think I am actually." And then it's the fact that they call it play dates, which is quite cute. Well, it's not a cute thing at all.
It's cute. It sounds like they're children.
Yeah, it does. Oh man.
Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, or the desperate guys. I mean, horny guys out there. If you're looking for a good time, back to Amsterdam, you go.
Maybe people just meet up with them, kiss them and spoon, and that's what they do. I've never seen what they do. Yeah, cry like, my life's terrible. But
I'd pay for that.
Yeah,
right now.
that's
€20.
Well, Rob, give me €20. You can cry to me.
Just gonna tweet out this story.
Are you healthy?
Maybe.
Have you changed your sheets?
Maybe. Do you come with the cat?
Done deal.
No, yeah, that's a weird one. That's very weird. I mean, we're excited that Wetherspoons is opening. They're more excited than the women are opening there. So, a bit different culture.
Cool. Right, shall we move on? So this time, sex in Britain. So there's a story: millionaire to host Britain's first socially distanced Alfresco Sex Party. So Richard Stanley, he hit the headlines when a reveller died in his pool a few years ago. The James Bond themed orgy. Wow. This guy, if you look at him, I'm going to tweet out the article now. He is so old. And he's having like James Bond themed orgies. Like, his life's better than mine. And he's like, oh, what the hell? Anyway.
Biracial couple as well, which is a beautiful thing in this day and age.
That's so weird to say.
You mean this old white
And his
guy's
lover
not
works for the
racist?
NHS. And his lover, as she's known here, works for NHS. There we go.
Well,
So,
I'm a fan of this
how
couple.
does you said it's a socially distanced? Did you say sex party?
Apparently.
How does that
So
work?
all outside, and there's
Right.
guidelines to follow. So his lover's a nurse, which works really well. So she's come up with certain guidelines they got to follow, which in theory should mean all the fun orgy sex stuff is safe.
I don't see how it can be safe.
Did
And
I-
I'd really be annoyed if you have a nurse that's doing this.
Yeah. It's
You
true,
know,
actually.
I'd kind of not want her treating me.
Did I read that it's
No?
like a voyeur thing? Like they're is that even how you
yeah.
say it? Like,
Voyeurism.
yeah.
So
So-
what that means is there's different couples and stuff. You can't mix and match, it says here. You can't switch. So you have to stay with your own partner, but you can watch other people with their partners.
So not so
That's
much an
kinda
orgy, but more shagging your partner whilst
Outside,
other
near
people
other
are doing it.
people. That
Yeah.
doesn't sound as appealing.
No,
Well, it might for some. Yeah.
no. I'm
Um,
trying to mentally put myself in that position and trying to work out what they get out of it. I mean,
Maybe their girlfriends look hideous and they want to look at someone else that isn't, and while they bang their missus. I don't know.
yeah, possible.
I don't know. Are they changing the sheets,
Yeah.
Jason?
Hopefully. She's an NHS nurse, so she must be on it with the clean sheets. Well, they're also outside, right? Alfresco. So yeah.
How many
So
people can go to this event?
I'm not sure. It doesn't say. So you two, did you get the invite, or did you say no this time?
Well, unfortunately, I had no one to go with, so I didn't go.
I heard the
50
about
post.
you,
guests. 50
50?
guests will be there. 50.
You're not allowed social callings for more than 6 people.
And apparently,
At least
so
it's an even
you've got
number.
a really, yeah, it's true. That's very important.
I
So
don't
you've got a
like
big
this
house
nurse.
and lots
Don't
of
trust this woman.
acres. No.
I wonder if they do
Don't
like
trust-
one of those circles every meter or so. I guess having sex a meter away from a couple and another couple having sex is still quite close. A meter's not very far.
No, you could probably ejaculate further than a meter.
Wow, yeah.
Maybe make a pole rub. And you ejaculate further than a meter. I reckon I could give it a good go. As in ejaculating over a meter. Not, I don't know what else it could have been, actually.
Give yourself a good go. Yeah.
Give myself a good go.
Hmm.
Yeah, although it's 2 meters until Saturday, so you got to really be ready for.
Thanks for that.
Yeah. Sorry about that one. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. So orgies are back. British life
And
going back
and
to
sex
normal.
red light district.
Orgies are back. That sounds like a headline for a
This
newspaper.
time it's orgy 2.0. The cleaner, the better.
Right, let's move on. So, yeah, everyone going off to that particular orgy. Have lots of fun and enjoy watching. So, another great article that we came across. The headline is "Man had sex with a
Terrible
dolphin."
choice, by the way. Sorry, go on.
It just happens every week. Every
Came
week,
across
yeah, go on.
There's a lot of really strange sex things in this world, isn't there? It's so fucking
That's
many
what
messed
the
up
viewers
people.
want. That and
And
salads.
we find them just for you guys. So the title
Exactly.
of this particular article, where's it from? So man had sex with a dolphin called Dolly for a year, and he claims the dolphin seduced him. Well, so Malcolm Brenner wrote a book, Wet Goddess, about his Wet Goddess.
Oh god, I didn't read
God.
that bit.
That's grim.
Dirtbag.
That was nasty. About his experience with the dolphin, who he claims had a relationship with when he was a student. Is this guy in jail? He's a self-confessed zoophile. I have no idea how you say that properly. Who claims to have an affair with a dolphin called Dolly. So he's really old now. He's 68. Well, this happened in the 70s. He's written a book about it.
It's happened in the 70s.
So he worked at a theme park, and I think that's where he met, where he
Theme
was
park?
seduced by the dolphin.
Do you mean like
Where-
a water park?
Yeah.
Where their first date happened.
Because I don't think
No,
I'd
it
be
says
seeing any
working at a
dolphins
theme park.
like Fort Park.
So no, it says it was a theme park. So he wrote, I don't know, he wrote a book about dolphins because they're being mistreated. I don't know. It's a strange one.
Mistreated, how ironic.
So he never got put in jail for this.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening now. So what it was in this theme park, you know, kids can go. So it is pretty much a water park. What is a theme park called? So kids can go swimming with these dolphins. So he was kind of the guy in the pool, making sure there's, you know, the kids are being safe.
Ugh.
Does Natalie
and at
McCann
this
go
point-
to this place?
Well, at this point, I don't know. At this point, he became friends, and he claims Dolly, the dolphin, announced her intentions towards him by rubbing herself against him. And there's a picture
gosh,
of
what
Malcolm
weirdo.
with Dolly back in the 70s. He looks like a nutter. Yeah,
So
he found it erotic. He liked it.
how does it? So did he just get in the water and just smash it?
I'm trying to read
Yeah,
it. I kind of.
I don't know what's the bigger question here. Is it why or how? Like what position are you shagging a dolphin? How the fuck
Asking
does
for a
that
friend.
happen? Like, is he upside down and swimming backstroke? I don't even know where a dolphin's vagina is. Like, is it dolphin style? Like the flipper's in the way. How the fuck do you do it?
Yeah, and like surely the dolphin's too strong to like, you know, it could just say fuck off and then to whack it off, not literally.
Whack it
Like,
off.
how does that even work, Jason?
So it doesn't go into details. I guess you got to buy the book for that.
Oh.
I'm not going to
Wet.
Google how do you have sex with a dolphin.
He
wet
just
goddess.
says, it wasn't some dog trying to hump my leg. You know, it was a wild female. She was an awesome creature.
Oh god.
And apparently, so the way it ends is a sad ending. It's not a love story. When the relationship ended, she died quite quickly afterwards when they kind of separated.
Sounds like a crazy ex.
And he reckons that she committed suicide. Dolphin committed suicide.
So he dumped her.
It's just not working out.
And then she committed suicide.
How do you break up?
I think she cheated on him. And he was like, if I can't have you, nobody can. And then, I guess he drowned it. They would have drowned it.
Or is he investigated for murder? This is like...
So, I'm just reading now about laws. Going into bestiality laws. So any laws banning this didn't come into effect until 2011. So what he was doing wasn't illegal at the time. And he can't now be tried for it. And he's also talked about previous sexual experiences with a dog. So this guy is really fucked up.
Why does he have to share this information?
Yeah.
And he's been married twice, and he's married now. So.
To a horse?
Fuck knows.
I can't fathom how you could even have sex with a dolphin.
He doesn't. Yeah, I don't want to know.
It's gonna haunt my dreams.
You can't take a dolphin out of water for long, right?
No. Okay, you're getting some background noise there, Rob. I wonder who that was.
All right,
was it a dolphin? Was that your dolphin?
Is that Dolly?
In a minute.
Yeah, so he's a really fucked up guy, and and he's written a book. So if you want to buy it, it's called Wet Goddess.
Yeah, sounds pretty creepy.
If you want to learn more details, Mark and Rob, do you know what it is?
I'm more intrigued on how that was even possible. Like,
why though? Why does anyone want to do this shit? Like,
I don't know. I don't even know.
Right?
But it's just weird.
She seduced him. He had no control.
That's true.
Clearly.
If I had a nickel for every time a dolphin came on to me, I'd have 0 nickels. I don't think I've even... No? Have you ever swam with a dolphin, Jason or Rob?
I have. Yeah, I got a photo. My parents have a photo of me and the dolphin in their dining room.
You sound so pleased with that. That's making me
funny,
think
right?
you're this guy.
No, it wasn't in the 70s. I wasn't alive then.
I don't think I have swam with a dolphin.
I did once, yeah, in the Caribbean.
So all me and Rob can say is we definitely haven't had sex with a dolphin. You've been near them. That's what I'm saying.
It did kiss me.
Oh,
True
come
story,
on!
right?
Was it called Dolly?
It was not. But the instructor made it kiss me in the cheek. I hope.
Jason.
Or maybe it was
did the instructor kiss you, Jason?
No.
Did Dolly have clean sheets?
And no kissing. It was okay.
Well, you said there was kissing.
Oh, yeah, only the one peck in the cheek.
Oh, it's getting hot in here, you guys.
That's how it starts.
Such a crazy story, right? That's our stories for this week.
Yeah, no polls other than can you jizz further than a meter? Crazy.
Oh, we got a whole 6 days to work something out.
I'm sure you can. Yeah, so hopefully we have more. We sorted out the sex doll story for a few weeks. I think the viewers are getting pretty annoyed at that. That was our...
I'm sure we could find some.
Well, yeah, Rob found a depressing one the other week, but we need to find one that's not so weird. Well, no weird. I like weird, just not crazy.
We get really desperate for stories. We can create our own. We can be the story.
Where's the line from Too Crazy for you, though?
Oh, that would be one. Just fake all the news and make the most ridiculous stories. But we couldn't do that here. We're too honest. We're good journalists, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, that concludes episode 6, right, guys? Well, don't have my voice.
Whoa!
I just hit puberty.
Breaking
news.
news.
Breaking news. I hit puberty on episode 6. Just before my 32nd birthday. Yeah, Jason, this is our last podcast of being 31.
Thanks for that. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Are you going to be available for next Thursday's one?
I am, yeah. I'll be back on Wednesday.
Okay, I am too back on Wednesday. Yeah.
Nice.
It's like we planned this.
Cool.
So,
We planned it well.
If anyone wants to give me and Jason free stuff for our birthdays, please feel free to send it in. And yeah, Jason, what are you doing for your birthday?
So I'm going to Usedom, an island on the Ostsee in Germany.
Sounds beautiful. Will there be dolphins?
Yeah. Hopefully not. I'm a bit scared of dolphins now. There's nice sandy beaches, and part of it is in Poland.
Nice.
That should be good.
Is the weather supposed to be hot?
What are you doing, Mark?
I am off to Brighton. Yeah, few days checking out the sights and getting some sea, because the air bridge has not been sorted out here for me to go elsewhere yet. But it's all right. We'll come back with a vengeance. And Rob, what are you doing on your furlough?
I don't know. A lot of jogging, probably. I've just ordered The Last of Us 2, so that could keep me busy.
And trip to Amsterdam.
That is on the cards, yeah.
No kissing. Just promise me.
I promise.
Yeah. Well, we could all have some interesting stories to tell from the week, but hopefully the world will give us even better stories next time. All right. So that is the end of episode 6. Thanks for joining us. And we'll be back again.
Thanks, listeners.
Same time next week.
Yes.
Cheers, guys.
Like us, share us, subscribe, follow.
Yep. Ask questions, please. And you can find us at @free_WMD on Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah.
And as well as the YouTube page, which you probably know of because you're listening to it on there. But yeah, cool. Well, yeah, subscribe, like, and questions, and we'll speak to you guys next week. Cheers,
Bye,
guys.
Nice.
Peace out.
Peace.